road is calling and I must go. And my first stop was a small RV park within a city park in Torrington, Wyoming. The city hopes to add Wi-Fi in the future and shade trees. The park is well lit and patrolled. The locals use the park for all sorts of activities. It was a lot of fun. I liked it there. And since it was a little bit out of town, this was a job for Irby. Join me as we pursue the dream in Torrington, Wyoming.
Good morning, YouTube friends. The Homesteaders Museum. And right across the street is this huge sugar factory. Torrington's kind of rural, as you can see. We'll go take a look at some of the houses. Unfortunately, she said the door doesn't open. There was some storm and it's been damaged. But can you imagine living in that? Probably was this junkier. Ben Trout. This is the original Homestead Shack built in 1909, about 28 miles south of Torrington on land which is now near the center of Hot Spring Irrigation Reservoir. The house is 12 feet 7 inches by 12 feet 6 inch square and was home for the Trouts for 13 years. Here they raised their 3 children. The floor was originally packed dirt covered with a rug or two. The oldest 2 children slept on the floor. Mama, Papa, and baby slept in a 3/4 bed. It was hot in the summer as it was cold in the winter. After the Trouts built a larger house, the shack was used as a milk house, and the wooden floor was added. Mice and snakes are a common problem. Dust and dirt from plowed ground and Wyoming's ever-present winds covered everything in grit. That's pretty amazing. And there's these unusual, I would assume this is a chuck wagon of some sort, huh? For the workers.
$160 acres was yours if you could homestead, but the directions to your land weren't exact, and sometimes you might have to move your house. Oops. And of course you also had to farm the land, so you had to break all that up. Nothing was planted yet. It was hard life. The museum has some really interesting pieces. It's quite small, but it's worth time going through. Whoever heard of hair work album? Apparently they kept the hair of dead relatives and weaved it and placed it in these albums. It's a little unusual. They have a few artifacts gained from trading from the natives, but mostly this is about the homesteaders.
Typical better off homesteader, huh? This reminds me of homes where I used to visit my grandparents in Ohio. Doll's a little creepy. Oh, this is the actual Yoder Home. Huh. one's a little weird looking. Nutcracker. It's kind of weird. Oh, kitchen. Oh, it's a really small kitchen, wasn't it?
And there's the one-room schoolhouse. Posted on the wall is a list of 9 rules for teachers, including...
I'm just going to read you the rules for teachers, 1872. Teachers each day will fill lamps, clean chimneys. Number 2, teachers will bring a bucket of water and a scuttle of coal for the day's session. Number 3, make your pens carefully. You may whittle nibs to the individual taste of the pupils. Men teachers may take one evening each week for courting purposes, or 2 evenings a week if they go to church regularly. Number 5, after 10 hours in school, the teachers may spend the remaining time reading the Bible or other good books. Number 6, women teachers who marry or engage in unseemly conduct will be dismissed. Number 7, every teacher should lay aside from each pay a goodly sum of his earnings for his benefit during his declining years, so that he will not become a burden on society. Number 8, any teacher who smokes, uses liquor in any form, frequents pool or public halls, or gets shaved in a barber shop will give good reason to suspect his worth, intention, integrity, and honesty. Number 9, the teacher who performs his labors faithfully and without fault for 5 years will be given an increase of 25 cents per week in his pay, providing the Board of Education approves.
The Overland Trail passed near this town, and the railroad followed the Overland Trail right into Torrington. They had an actual car on site.
Oh, cool. Oh, this is different. I've never been in an actual car from the Union and Pacific Railroad. Huh. Tools, there's your stove, huh? Coal bucket. Neat. There's no real explanation as to who. I'm climbing the crow's nest, so I guess that was the crow's nest, huh? Boilers, who knows what'll. Neat. Not very comfy looking, but pretty cool. Message on the stick, it says. Clip usually grabbed by the engineer or conductor. Huh. Yeah. There was the... That's wild.
Well, that pretty much wraps up Torrington. I stayed a couple days. There was a little problem with flies in the campground because there's a cow pasture next door. But really, it was a delightful place. I'd advise you to stop there if you go through town. I snapped a picture of this picture because it just seemed unusual. Little did I know I would discover the story of the woman in this casket at my next stop at Fort Laramie. Join me and pursue the dream.